Good morning. Happy Tuesday, April 23rd. Your son's birthday, Feliz cumpleaños. April 23rd in 7 days with April 30th, which will mark the end of April or into May. So even get better. Okay. I want to start off with an agenda item, if you don't mind. And I don't want you to take this as concern. I want you to take it as reality. Well, the quote of the day to start off. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Right? Is that an empowering statement or a weak statement? It's an empowering statement. Paramount, I'm gonna let you wait just a minute. Here's what I want to talk about as we open up. Prepare for a lean 2024, unless you do more. I just read an article last night. They raised the average sales, the number of sales projection in the US to 4.1 million sales. Right? And that's with 1.5 million agents. So now they're projecting three sales per agent. We're going to beat that by far with 8 or 9 sales per agent. But a lot of our agents will be left in the dust if they're not adapting and doing more. Right? We're not having, they're predicting no more interest rate increases or decreases. So nothing big there. Sellers don't want to put houses on the market. So we have no inventory and we got fewer buyers. So if you want to do the same thing you did last year, you got to do more this year. More social prospecting, more networking, more farming, more door knocking, more whatever it was that made you successful last year. You got to focus on doing more this year. That's just the way it is. So, and we're going to show you some slides about that too. Let's go ahead and let Paramount give us our intro. Megan, are you with us?
I am. Good morning, everybody. I wanted to thank everybody that came out for the vendor meet and greet. I know it was hot and we had to move everybody under the shade, but we appreciate those who stuck with us out in the Florida heat. And then the May class on May 9th, we are going to have Denise from Waypoint join us, Waypoint Inspections, and she is going to do inspection one-on-one. She has 3 different parts to the training. So in a couple months, we'll have her come back and we'll talk about inspections with insurance companies. And then she also has a new build one. So we'll hear a couple of things from her, but this one's going to be inspection one-on-one on May 9th. So we will see you guys there. And then in June, I wanted to do another Q&A with title. But I want to get the questions from you guys. What do you guys have a scenario from, a client or a listing that you have, or personal ones that you want to ask regarding title and ask our attorney? I'm going to send out a Survey Monkey and ask that you guys, if you have questions, fill it out so we can prepare a PowerPoint with your questions. So we can get answers to those for our June class.
Nice. Good idea. I'll tell you what, guys, insurance and inspections are super, super critical because that's what challenges. Chris, you and I talked about that on Monday. It's a challenge. And the more you know about it now, I was really proud. I talked about Kalani last week. She finally got her seller to come back and put the new roof on so they can get the insurance. Except guess what? The roof tile is 34 months, right? Crazy stuff.
And that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week.
Thanks, Megan.
We have
Thank
property.
you.
It's got a brand new water heater, brand new AC. Electric is good. Plumbing is good. Roof has 5 years of life. Everything is acceptable for insurance. Everything. And it's still becoming an issue because the roof has 5 years of life.
Right.
Based on what the insurance company says, not what it actually has. And everything else is perfect and new.
Guess what? Now what? When you're faced with that situation, you got to deal with it. So we'll get more education on that. The agenda. Okay, just reminders for you guys. Transaction brokerage is now our standards. You're still welcome to be a single agent, but what do you have to do? Single agent notice, and you want to consent to transition to transaction broker so that the rest of our company can show the listings as well. We're going to jump to the slides. The PowerPoint's open. And we'll start off with 16. Ashley.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So basically this is saying how foreclosures are still down and they're still projected to be down. I did do a little bit of digging, and in all of our MLS, there is only 210 current bank owned properties.
Wow.
So yeah, and I did read from an attorney as well that was kind of mentioning ARM products maybe being a factor in this moving forward, but everybody has so much equity. Right now, I believe it's at the $300,000 mark. I know that you were talking about the 290 previously.
So the
So-
point here is I want you guys to have content, right? Social media. We are the media. So when people say foreclosures, no, foreclosure starts are down 17.9%. Foreclosure sales are down 17.2%. And our foreclosure active inventory is negative 2.2%, 25% below pre-pandemic levels, right? So when a
Yeah,
customer
that's
talk
year
about-
over year, so it's great. Yeah, everybody's expecting, the media wants to talk about the market going down, and it's just not.
Yep. And we're going to see more slides on that. Number 17. Yes. Yeah, I forget who that was.
Good morning,
Joe.
Joe. Yes. So basically this slide is showing the progression of the height of the foreclosure in 2010 going down to 21, which was our lowest. And foreclosure was, we had a moratorium on closure in 21. But even after that ended, it's only gone up, numbers have only gone up very slightly, 357,000. I pulled some numbers just to put that in perspective. There are 83 million mortgages out there, not homes, but mortgages. 357 is 0.04%. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Of mortgages, 0.4%. All right. So it's very, very low when you're looking at total number of mortgages out there. When you think there's 83 million mortgages and there's only 357,000 foreclosures. So very, very small.
I wonder if some agents wondering why we're even talking about this. Because if you've only been in the business for 5 years, all you know, low foreclosures.
Right.
But we've been in business during these years where we had millions of foreclosures.
Yeah.
And
Even
foreclosures are almost going to have this whole year in all sales.
Yeah, even in the height at 2.9 million in 2010, that was only 3.4% of mortgages. Now, what this slide doesn't show was short sales. Okay, there was tremendous amount of short sales in 2010.
Yes.
But as far as foreclosures are concerned, it's very minimal, So
be the media, spread the news.
The other reason we're talking about it is because people have memories.
Mm-hmm.
So they remember 2009, 10, and 11, and some people are sitting there hoping and praying something else like that happens again, because that might be their only opportunity to get a deal or to get into a home. So people have memory, people are looking for that. Some people think that that is going to happen again. So that's why we talk about these things, to show you the numbers where it's really at, so you can have educated conversations with them and not object to them, but just help them understand why that might not be the case.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Nice research, by the way.
Thank you.
Jessica Roman, number 18.
Good morning. So yeah, piggybacking on that, if anyone was doing real estate in 2019 and prior, you probably remember showing HUD home after HUD home, submitting home path offers, Freddie Mac, ResNet. They were everywhere. And every now and again, we'll still get that fun investor that wants us to find foreclosures for them and lowball those. So this slide here, it pretty much says the number of foreclosures is still way down from pre-COVID levels, which is likely thanks to things like government help, economic bounce back, and probably a lot of programs to help aid new homeowners. So we're not going to see any big jumps in foreclosures on the horizon, which is pretty awesome in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. They were a pain in the neck. Multiple offers, getting bankers to approve the offers, and then throw the short sales in the mix. It was just a miserable period of time.
Oh, and don't you remember the HUD keys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun filling those offers out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, down to 21. Rachel, you're up for slide number 21. This is a great one.
Good morning. Can
Morning.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. All right. That's always a good day. So I love this information. There are about 61% of people who have equity in their homes that they could tap into. 61% that have more than 50% or some that have 100%. So 38.7 own that home free and clear. 28.7 have more than 50% equity. What does that mean for you as a seller? For you as a real estate agent, what we should be looking for are people who have that much equity, especially in our markets. You know, we live where people want a vacation. We have so many investment opportunities, and your money shouldn't be sitting there not making you money. So we're about encourage, empower, and educate people. We want to help them build wealth. One of the best ways to build wealth is real estate. You know, so we're looking to build that long-term financial goal for them, and there are many different options. Talk with your mortgage broker. They could withdraw enough to make the down payment from their home and have a loan that would be carried just on the rental income. There are a lot of different options that they have for those. So, and not only that, this gives you a good time to be that advisor and build that relationship with them, because so many people in an economy like this start to get fearful and put off improvements that they want to do to their home. Well, your home is your biggest asset, and if you're not taking care of it, then maybe when you get to a point where you do have to sell it, you've got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 of work that you've got to put in it, so it will pass everything. So talk to your farms, talk to your sphere, be sure that they are keeping up with their homes, and if they have that investment or that much equity, talk to them. And where can you find those out? Remind will tell you how much investment, how much equity people have.
My segue for your class today.
Yeah, if you want some help with Remind, there's been a calendar invite that was sent out today from 1 to 3 in the Brandon office. We'll have a Remind class where basically found some information on properties. If you search properties that have these statistics, they're more likely to sell than others. And we've got some of the stats to show that. So we'll be going through some of the ways to focus on properties, do some CMAs to them, and show you some of the search criteria to use to find properties that are more likely to list. So that'll be from 1 to 3 o'clock in Brandon. It's a lunch and learn. Bring your computer, hands-on. I'll have it on Zoom, but it's not made for Zoom. It's made to be in there, hands-on, going through that, so we can walk through and help you out. So it'll be on my Zoom room, and I'll send out an invite.
Cool. So said another way, 67.4% of people have more than 50% equity. Average sales price, that was about 400,000. So what's more than 50% equity? More than $200,000 in equity sitting in their pockets. How much money did you put down to buy an investment property worth $400,000? About 80,000 bucks. And they got 200. So they're not stripping themselves, they're not putting themselves at risk, but they have 80,000 bucks, they can buy a house. Now, the question is, what's going to happen to house prices? Well, let's see what the next slide says.
Yeah, what is going to happen to house prices? Well, if you look at this graph, there's a large majority, like 35% at one point. Now we're in the low 20% that people think prices are still going to drop.
Which means 80% don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. We all have those buyers that are out there going, I'm waiting for home prices to drop. I'm ready to buy, but I don't want to pay that much. As soon as they drop, I'm going to get back in. Well, it doesn't, that's just not the case. The pandemic is when it really took off, and everybody thought prices are going to drop, but it was the opposite. The prices went crazy because everybody was pinned in at home and they were buying properties left and right. So now we're back to, again, where over 20% of the people think, well, my prices are going to drop anytime now. It all has to do with inventory. And, here on the coast, we're on the Emerald Coast, our inventory is a little bit high right now. So there are a few price drops, but it's really on the price, homes that are overpriced. So, Chris talks about that all the time every week when we have our meetings, and he presents that to everybody and says, hey, if your price is in the right area, it's going to sell. But if you're overpriced, of course, you're going to have to drop your price. But that's where we are now.
Good news, right?
Yep.
So you shouldn't feel bad about recommending to a customer to start thinking about investment properties. They could be townhouses for the affordable rents. They could be single family homes. What about a Lennar house with a $10,000 selling bonus right now?
Huge.
Oof, nice. Maybe one more slide for Sean.
Okay, so I wanted to make a comment too on the equity in homes, just because I've done this myself. you know, the asset itself is growing at 4 to 5% every year. So, and you're not going to stop that by pulling the money out of it. So, I mean, I just pulled out the equity in my, in one of my properties just to earn another 5.5% in a CD while I'm waiting on another investment to pop up. So I'm doubling up on my money there. But so this slide is the
Wait,
percentage
say
of
that
annual-
again, Sean, 'cause
Okay,
just because you pull the equity out doesn't mean the asset stops appreciating.
correct.
So you
Yeah.
pull the equity out, so the equity is growing in the house, but he's also put into a CD and it's earning 5.5%.
Yep.
That's smart.
And so, you know, and it's just sitting there. And when I'm ready for, you know, that next investment, it's going to be there ready to go. So,
Perfect.
so this slide is percentage of annual home appreciation, 1980 through 2023, adjusted rounded to the nearest full number. So it looks like, you know, we're still at a pretty good growth rate, especially coming on into 2023 there. Obviously we had that spike in 2021, but it calmed down 2022, 2023. So this graph, I can't see whether it shows 2024 or not, but it looks like we're on a good trend at least.
Yeah, so what you're saying, over the last 43 years, houses have gone about an average of 5%.
Yeah.
And if
And-
long-term
and that-
hold, part of it.
And that's exactly to the point, you know, that I'm making about the asset that I have. It's going to grow whether, you know, I pull the money out or not. So you might as well just go ahead and buy more assets.
So an $80,000 down payment is cash. Your house is going, it's a $400,000 house is going up 5% a year. That's $20,000 a year. Right? $20,000 return on an $80,000 investment is 25%
But it's
because of tax incentives.
better. Because it's not my money.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not taking my cash out. I'm taking an investment that I leveraged to buy, pulling money out of it, leveraging that. So that 80 grand wasn't my cash. I invested 80 grand that I did not have, that's sitting in this brick and mortar piece of property. And I got a return on the $80,000 that was not mine. It's an infinite return because I invested $0 of my own cash and I invested fake money that's sitting out there in my appreciation, in my annual appreciation of my home, and I got a return on that. So it's an infinite return on your money because it wasn't your money to begin with.
Yeah, you had to sleep. You had to go to bed in it. Wake up with equity. So
Right.
that's the news for the day, right? So what do I want you to do? Talk to people and tell these kind of stories, because what's the media talking about? Not this good stuff. And this is really, I love these charts. They work really well. All right, next slide. I want to hear from you guys. Please unmute if you can. Any success stories on the Zillow showcases? We've ordered quite a few.
Chad, and have you received any direct leads through the Zillow showcase? Have you had any cool success stories where you saw an old listing spike up in the amount of views, went under contract shortly after that? If you have anything like that, chat it in or raise your hand if you would like. We can unmute you and we can speak. Just give some feedback.
Jackie was showing me last week. She had her phone open. She goes, look, this was went like 19 hours ago. I've had 405 views and 68 likes and shares or something like that. So if you're not monitoring that, please do. Angelique sent an email yesterday in case you missed it. Jimmy's class on Thursday was talking about how to get in there and manage that account. So that's Thursday. And then there's an email I sent. Oh, there's an email in my inbox from Lauren. If you want one-on-one coaching, Lauren is the Zillow showcase rep for us, and she will do one-on-one with you. Good.
Second,
Look at your mic.
just make sure. Talk directly.
Directly into
Kind of an odd story. My Shell Point listing, which we put on showcase.
which has been on the market for a long time, but not much activity.
Correct. They went on a cruise. While they were on a cruise, they met somebody that likes investment properties. They pulled it up on their phone and showed them the showcase. I had a showing last week via Zoom, and they're coming in 2 weeks to take a look at it.
Wow.
So the client, through their phone, showed it to them on Zillow, and they were seriously impressed.
Yeah.
So,
And you win either way.
correct.
They buy this house or another house, right?
Correct.
Very cool. How about listing successes? Where you had a listing, the seller said, wow, I'm really impressed. I'm listing with you. No comments? No chats? Okay,
I have a comment.
okay, who's that?
Don't ask me a lot of details because I'm not prepared for this, but somebody that got a referral from their listing showcase, they're actually going into a different area, so she got an outgoing referral for it. So
Oh,
make
that's
sure
cool.
you're remembering to
Yeah, we refer
capture
these
all opportunities. Yeah,
because they're your leads that are coming from a third-party source.
exactly.
The classes, Jimmy shows you how to sync your Zillow and Moxie so that when somebody goes to your Premier Showcase listing and clicks on the button and fills out the form, they automatically get a Moxie return email saying, just got your inquiry, I'll reach out to you shortly. So there's some cool information
And they
there.
go directly into your CRM and get
Yep.
logged into neighborhood news
Automatically.
when you
Just
toggle.
because you can toggle and connect those things automatically. So
Mhm. Okay, my inbox, if you don't mind. Okay, so this is Lauren. If you guys want a one-on-one with her, she's offering to do one-on-ones. She's got a calendar link. You can sign up and she'll do a one-on-one with you. You want to help learn how to use it. So I'll send that if you ask me to. Zillow market updates. I get this every week now. Zillow's home value forecast calls for 1.9% growth over 2024. Not a lot, right? But it's better than a down. This is nationwide, so this is not really relevant to anything that we do. But there's an upward revision from last month's outlook. 21% after rising at an annual pace of 21% in February, year-over-year increase in new listings eased in March to just 4%. Right? But once again, that's a nationwide picture. There's a lot of people overprice the stuff, and there's still snow in other markets that just don't have any sales going on. Total housing inventory at the end of March increased to 1.1 million units, up from 1.07 million units, which is up 14% from a year ago. So that's a trend in the right direction. And that's all I want you to take us on. Trends in the right direction. Building permits issued in March increased to 1,458,000. And that's 4.3% below because the builders are starting to slow down now because the rates aren't coming down. That's what the article says. And then mortgage rates increased this week on stronger than expected economic data. So what happens when you have strong economic data? There's confidence in the marketplace because people have jobs, they're earning money, they're spending money, retailers are making money. So everything is good in the economy. That's a good sign, right? It's not good for us because we want lower interest rates, but there's no reason to do it.
But what have we seen previously? How long does it take for the buyers to really start to act accordingly? 3 months, 6 months?
Yep.
After about 3 months, you start to see some buyers come back around and just accept it for what it is. And by 6 months, it's become a new norm. So just give it that a little bit of time, give it that 3-month span, make sure you're talking to people, make sure you're filling your pipeline, because it usually takes them about 3 months to just go, oh, okay, this is what it is. Let's just move forward.
Yep. So in case you missed the training recaps, just know your emails are there and you can see the classes if you missed. Century 21's come up with a new program. It's called Focus Forward. And they're trying to take us to get us ready for the mid-July announcements to focus on our value as a buyer's agent. It's a 4-part series. It's free. It's in Century 21 University. And I will forward this to you. I want to talk about it first. So session 1 is Thursday, the 25th, but you have to register for these classes. I would recommend you do them. Century 21's putting out some very good content. Wendy Crane is the new training director, and she's really good. I like her a lot. So every 2 weeks, or every week, there's a class. What that's going to be, and I'll forward that when I get back to my office. So that's that. The weekend learning is just something we put out there to see what's coming up. And the weekend learning this week is on the slideshow. And tomorrow, Jessica, my daughter, is going to do Instagram on your phone and how she's doing everything with her phone and actually going to do the screen share from her phone so you can see how it works. Because a lot of your Instagram, and that's why we're talking about this content. Because if you can learn to post content, people are going to follow you and you're going to get business. It's being developed. Sochi is being developed. They have to rebuild everything to coordinate with Moxie. And we did that. South Shore has its awards event this Friday at Circles. Hope to see you all there. Real Life Real Estate, episode 3, Chris and I did on Monday. This week in learning was plan your upcoming week and work your plan, right? And there's so many things we could be doing. And there's so many things we could not be doing that maybe we should plan it out in advance. Wednesday, Instagram. Oh, RSP is going to be here for farming mailings. We were talking to the manager meeting yesterday. Susie Brush said she got 2 listings last year from her RSP mailings.
I sent out a just sold some water set. It's had 3 clicks on it past weeks. And so none of them had phone numbers or emails, but that just means that I'll put together a
Oxy CMA.
put together a quick 4-page little quick CMA with a QR code that brings them to me, that links them to me, put it in a manila envelope, drop it off on their doorstep, knock on their door, chat with them like that. But
Perfect.
3 clicks that I got people to follow up.
I wanted to remind you about Jared James' little video shot last week. I don't need to shower, but it's in my best interest to do so. I don't need to pay a buyer broker commission anymore, but it's in the seller's best interest to do so. So I like those words. It's in your best interest to do so. So when we're talking about the presentation, it says, hey, I heard I don't have to pay a commission anymore. No, you don't, but it's in your best interest to do so. Ybor City Happy Hour is tomorrow from 6 to 8:30. And that's on the forms up there. And the next page is all about Florida 21. So we've got the raffle going on. Send at least 5 Moxie CMAs, send at least 5 Moxie buyer presentations, sends at least 5 Moxie seller presentations, get a buyer broker agreement signed, get a contract signed, get a listing agreement signed, you get 2 entries. We're going to add up all those entries and pick winners. We're going to get hotel rooms and incidentals and all kinds of stuff because all those reasons I said up there. It's a good reason to learn more about the brand, especially in trying different times. So let's learn more than we can. And it's right down the road in Orlando. So super, super easy. I'll forward that email in a little bit, Mike. And then birthdays this week. We came off of a low last week, the only one. Derek Carlson from Apollo Beach on the 23rd. Keith Petrakis in Madeira Beach on the 23rd, along with Lila Cabezas on the 23rd. 24th, Kim Hodgkins coming up. 25th, Deborah Korch is coming up. Sean, who we just heard from, is on the 27th. Happy early birthday. Jeanette's son's birthday is coming up. Beatriz Villarreal is on the 27th. Kate Heath and Southampton on the 28th, along with Henry Gonzalez. So if you know them, say happy birthday wishes. You can talk about that.
Yeah, we have an agent appreciation happy hour in Ybor tomorrow from 6 to 8:30. It was Quick Look Mortgage putting that on for you guys. They're going to have some raffles. They'll have some food. They'll have some drinks. They just want to say thank you for all the engagement that you guys have given them. They also have a full brand. It's mortgages, heating and air, and roofing. So they want to provide and be a valuable resource for you. They'll do heating and cooling installed prior to closing, pay at closing, finance options for heating and cooling or roof, whatever you need. Reach out, free inspections for roofs, and then they've got a limited time deal for tune-ups on ACs. If you have a home coming on the market, they'll get you some quotes and everything there.
Sounds good. If you have a microphone, you know, because there's 100 some people online and they can't hear you, but there's only 25 people in the room.
Follow Mike Puma's
Daily Post.
daily post, and I use the we are under construction. I translated in Spanish and I got 4 leads and one of them talked to Jeff already.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Is that like
Hispanics.
on the
just took
Beachmaker?
one.
That's super cool. Yeah, you guys are missing that. Mike's really put out some talented content for you to take and customize if you like, but start using it. Got to put the content out there. And Masters Ruby, this is a big one. You know, the award winners are quite proud of their awards. And if you don't have one, you want to get one. And if you have one, you want to keep one. So I like to keep the awards thing in front of you. Masters Ruby is where it starts with $140,000. And we talk, that's about 14 home sales a year. So just over 1 a month. And you are an award winner. And it is 9:30 on the dot, brother. We did it. 30 minutes, first time ever. Anything else for the greater good? Nope. Good information today?
The RSP class on the 25th is going to be during the normal morning meeting hour. So that or normal morning meeting time. So that's going to be 9 to 9:30.
It'll be recorded and it'll be on Facebook and it'll be emailed to you on Monday. No excuses.
Vicky, showcase flyers and PDFs. They are being added to our marketing presentation in Moxie and our listing presentations in Moxie. And if you shoot an email over to Angelique, I know she probably has some stuff already that that's either been cataloged, and she'll be able to share them.
Yep.
Happy Tuesday.
Okay.